For those of you that don't know, I injured my L5 like 6 or 8 months ago. It's a disc that's in your lower back, and it doesn't feel good when it hurts. For those of you that experience this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. For those that don't, I hope you don't experience it. It was a freak accident how it happened. More than likely, I had some imbalance in my back, and then it kind of peaked during training. Basically, was wrestling, stood up, felt like my back was going to go out. Oh, that doesn't feel good, so I bent back over, finished the spar, and then I just couldn't walk. It was really bad. So I've been wrestling with that for the last 6 to 8 months. I did like 3 tournaments that I re-flared it up, re-injured it, and it was looking like, oh man, I'm not gonna be able to do jiu-jitsu the way that I wanted to, and I may not be able to compete because I also got to think about being able to carry my 4 kids and teach. If I get injured, it's gonna be very tough to teach at my school. So it was looking pretty rough. But we're making this video to celebrate the breakthrough that we've been having. Actually, my last 2 tournaments, I had 0 back pain. One went incredibly smooth. Both of my matches going like within 30 seconds in the absolute. Submitting a guy that was, oh man, was like probably like 185 in that match, and he was like 220, 230. You do the math for me, okay? Let me know what the weight difference was between us. But then I had another match that went really well, but we ended up jumping into an IBGF at Oklahoma, competing at the black belt adult level. I ended up overshooting my weight cut on accident because I came in 185. We ended up putting a sauna suit on. My sweat was going super good, but for whatever reason in my head, I was like, ooh, let's just cut as far as we can because I don't want to take everything off, check my weight, be too far still over, and I was worried about having to put everything back on. Turns out that was a horrible idea because the sweat was moving really well, and when I got on the scale to check, it said 180. Now, what does that mean? Well, I was 185. I had a plan to only cut around 3% of my body weight. I had everything mapped out for my sodium, my water, my everything, so I could be like ready to go. And I made a mistake leaving the sauna suit on too long, and I cut too much. So instead of being 181.6, I weighed 180. So I was like, oh no. And the last like 15, 20 minutes of me doing that is when my body started to feel like shaky, weak, lethargic. So I really shot myself in the foot. So we tried to rehydrate, try to get some Skittles, get some sugar and everything else in there. And yeah, it didn't work. So I didn't have the greatest performance at Oklahoma. But what was great about Oklahoma and this last Fuji, 0 back pain, got to do jiu-jitsu the way, well, outside of Oklahoma, feeling lethargic, it's hard to do jiu-jitsu the way you want. But if wanting to do jiu-jitsu is not having your back hurt, big success. Can't wait to share with you guys some of these Fuji matches. Both of them go pretty quick, getting a submission. One, we get a cross choke. The other one, we get a really good triangle, which is crazy about this triangle. When you guys watch this, try to help see why my right calf got the biggest, craziest, most painful bruise I've ever experienced in my life. I think it when he was posturing out of the triangle, but I don't understand how. Let me know what you guys think. All right, so this is our first official match back since my back injury. At this point right here, there was nobody in my weight class, so we jumped up right up to the absolute. As you can see, I'm a little taller than Shiloh, but this guy is, let's just say, a little bit bigger than me. So we get an interesting guard pull here. I was able to kind of connect, get my arms wide, and as he was trying to go for over-under, we immediately catch him in a triangle. And truthfully, this is the point right here where I truly think that giant bruise on my calf that hurt when anybody would touch it, it's got to be from this point right here because he is trying to pressure pass out of my triangle. Definitely not going to work. But all of his neck and him looking up, trying to deadlift out was driving into my calf. And once he was able to get taken off to the side, we went pretty good on that arm bar. Honestly, it was a really, really neat, really fun feeling having the whole team there. Fuji actually did this tournament a little different. That black belt and brown belts went first. Then they had everybody else go. So everybody was there behind the camera watching. So, and then after we ended up winning this match, we ended up going to the finals. And this is against actually one of my friends, Matt. His name is Matt Williams. Really good guy. Has a lot of jiu-jitsu knowledge in his head. And does a lot of these local circuits a lot from the AGFs and Fujis. But as I get this guard pull, he goes straight in my ankle. I pull my foot out, and I do what felt like in the moment a long step variation to be able to pass his guard and to escape. But watching it back, it doesn't look as cool as it felt. But it's hard to complain about getting a guard pass, right? So we ended up pulling. He went for my ankle. did what I was attempting to do in my head, a long step as I extract the leg. Now we're going into one of my favorite pinning positions, going to what we call shin mount. As you guys can see, my knee is to the mat, but my foot is still in that far hip because I am not going to give him an opportunity to trap my left foot to put me in 3/4 mount. So this is a detail I really like. I take my right foot, snake it under, hook his leg, and then my knee climbs up to actually achieve the mount position. So if you guys want some details on this, let me know in the comments below. This is a super crazy effective way to get the mount position and to just about honestly guarantee they will not catch your foot. Now here I actually get the first cross collar choke, cross collar choke grip, and he's doing a good job with his left hand, preventing my elbow from going across his face. So we basically do half of the finishing details that starts applying the choke right here, and he has two choices. He either keeps defending the elbow, and we put him to sleep, or he takes his hand off the elbow to prevent the current choke that I'm applying. Then we bring that forearm across his head, and we finish with the actual cross choke. This is a really incredible series I studied with Hodger Gracie and made it absolutely incredible. Cross choke from mount. We call it the Hodger choke though, because yell cross choke, it's so easy to defend. When you yell Hodger choke, you're like, what is that?